shodo-x!
Hey guys, welcome to the 56th episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Josh.
Guess what time it's not? Superhero time!
Oh, I mean,
sad.
it is if you haven't watched episode 0 yet.
That's
and
true.
If you consider the clip shows of 01 canon.
Well, I've heard that there's... From Twitter, I've seen that there actually was a little bit of new things in it, so...
I hate it. Fine, I guess I'll watch those. I'm not rewatching episode 0. Hey, anyway, that's not what this is. This is Soda Pop, and we're doing the news, and we have some pretty game-changing stuff.
I am blown away by this.
Absolutely, because
I cannot believe that they did it.
Without saying it right away, one of my friends who doesn't really collect soda, as far as I know, said it best. They did not have to go this hard.
No,
they didn't. They actively created more work for themselves in a space where we were like, oh yeah, they just need to get these out. Like they probably, there are a lot of 01. Oh, spoilers! It's not 01 related. There are a lot of 01 fans.
The little superhero time mention we just had about it is the extent of the 01 news for this week.
Yeah. All right, let's just dive right into it then, because we're dancing around this.
Yeah,
guys, it's
that's right.
It's the Black RX guy.
I believe the way
movie.
the way that I pronounced it is Barlukaxcsislfn.
Yep,
Barluk. Barlux, I think.
Yeah,
and
Barlux, whatever you want to call him. The Black RX guy.
Whatever the watch says.
Yeah.
The watch knows how it's to say it.
Yeah, it'll yell it at you.
Right.
And then he has what is being called the longsword.
Yeah, I didn't know there was like a debate about it, like G-Man mentioned.
I had no idea either, and I think I was talking to someone on Twitter about this too. Like, I always just thought it was going to be called the Revolcane, but
maybe
I just said that, hey, G-Man's a bigger nerd than me, so whatever he says goes.
I wonder if it's literally just called Long Sword. I wonder if that's just like less of an actual weapon name and just this is the type of weapon.
Yeah,
possibly.
I remember when we got Figure Arts Kamen Rider Brain, the sword that he comes with was just referred to as weapon.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe Revolcane, like, isn't the Revolcane something that Black has? So maybe that's the Revolcane and this is not that?
That's what this is modeled after. It's the like lightsaber that Black RX has.
Right, it's modeled after it, but it's not it.
But it's not the exact. Yeah, it's not the same thing.
So maybe,
I mean, it has the same
that's
function.
The argument?
So maybe, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was some kind of like alternate version of the Revolcane, since he is based off of Black RX. It would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
it doesn't need a weapon. It's not anything like this Heisei stuff.
right.
As he would say.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, so far, and this will get touched on later, there's some pretty good paint on this guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's see here. And then... Oh, boy.
Before we go to the crazy part, just for reference, because I was looking at like older photos today, and I saw that... So, we had been waiting for the Geo figures to, get caught up and everything like that. And it turns out that the day that there was like the press conference that revealed the Over Quartzers riders was on May 22nd, 2019.
Ooh.
Oh.
So it's been nearly a year that we've known about these designs for Soda to actually finish them.
Wow. Full circle, man.
Yeah.
Like a clock.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. But yeah, are we doing the big one?
He has a sign.
No, not yet.
All I was gonna say real quick is I love the brown paint. It got this kind of matte look to it.
Yeah. And even last week, I'm sure that this is the same brown sampled from what is it, Zamonis from last week.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So that looks neat. All right, big stuff.
Yeah.
Big stuff.
Big stuff.
All right, big stuff, guys. Big blue boy, except he's regular sized blue boy. In the movie, I completely forgot that this happened at all.
I didn't forget that it happened. I just never would have put it on the radar or something they would actually do.
Yeah, because this seems like, it's a CGI mess. It's just gonna not make it into...
He uses the J ride watch to become giant, and apparently he also needs to use the Bio Rider ride watch to become liquid. So
yeah. So now he's clear blue. Our first, it's called the Barlux Clear Blue version, and this is our very first fully translucent figure.
I can't believe it.
It's gorgeous.
I when I was scrolling through the blog last night, because I had also forgot that ever happened, because I watched Over Quartzer a while ago, and I haven't thought about it since then. And the second I was scrolling through and I saw that little the first teaser picture of it, it immediately popped back in my mind. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, they did not do that. No way.
Even when I was scrolling through the images, I was just like, did he just make this for fun? And then I just went to the end. No, that's part of the wave.
Yeah. This is actually a thing that's happening for real, and Brian is super excited about.
I know.
I was about to say, as soon as
it was great because I tagged him in it, and then Chris tagged him in it, and it's just.
As soon as it dawned on me that this was actually a thing we were getting, I just kind of realized, there are going to be a lot of people that are upset about this.
Yeah, we can talk about that toward the end, but still going through this thing, he does have the translucent sign that he was holding.
Yes, that is so cool.
It is, and
I literally would have been completely fine. I wouldn't even thought about him having this sign, but I think that is a really cool accessory for him to have.
I legitimately, about a week ago, on our Discord, I showed a screenshot of that from the movie and just said, "Here's a very necessary accessory for him."
And they listen. What I love about the sign and everything, how they, first of all, it is a perfect accessory for him, and how they showed it off, like recreating that scene. And then they even showed it in the blog, but it was pretty obvious, I guess, from in hindsight, that they were setting this up when they did those logo stands, because
I guess
because it was weird that they did that anyway. I guess they said that people wanted them and everything, but now that you can actually recreate that whole scene, it makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. They did that. Yeah, in our Discord, I think someone was pointing out how I don't even know who would be asking for this sign, and I just said probably the same people who wanted the Rider Kick titles.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. And I feel like I'd want this more than those other ones, but we still got those other ones, so whatever.
Yeah, it's cool. If they're gonna give us both, why not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll take both.
Yeah, right.
So the thing about this sign though, is that it's cast in clear blue, but the sticker is fully, it's not translucent whatsoever. But there are a few things that they wanted to say about it. First off, there's a 3mm hole there, so you could, and a clip for him to hold. So you could put it in your display bases, but in terms of making the thing, they knew they couldn't do the translucentness through it. So what they did was, and there was an entire block of text that they just put in an image, and I'm like, well, Google Translate's not going to do anything about that. So
technically, the phone app can, but it's
yeah. Well, no, I took it and then I put it into the phone app, and it was saying that in order to make the difference more apparent between the characters and the sign itself, I believe the sign itself is more glossy, but then when you get to the characters, they brought down the finish on the white, which would be the cloudy background, and then the dark areas where his arm and leg is supposed to show through.
Yeah, that's a really cool. I really like that they went through the detail of like having like the arm and the leg behind it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and yeah, like
that's a really good idea.
Even the leg, I was like, oh, why would they, how would they have even thought of that? But then I in the post that I did, the Twitter post, the leg was there, like, in that area. Yeah. So, like, it perfectly works out.
Oh, yeah, they matched that really well.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I mean, it looks like the shot from the movie, so they did a good job.
Yeah. I love this. And
I love it too. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And they also said, and Shodo history first, precisely because symmetric clear parts usually cannot see the internal structure is completely exposed to view. Those who love making things, I think you can enjoy it. And yes, I absolutely enjoy it. I can't wait to get this in hand, not just because, I mean, like, this guy is way out of scale with anything that you're gonna own, except for maybe the Shodo Ultraman stuff. But
that's true.
I was also gonna say it's something you can display with your Sentai mecha, because I think that's the kind of set that they're using in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work.
But yeah, this is I'm so excited for this. And
yeah, I'm really impressed that they did all of that for him.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, they actively made more work for themselves. They didn't have to.
How amazing is it for a movie writer from last year's series, for a suit that has been, in existence for like almost a year, that they only really seen that they were making just because they, committed to wanting to do everything, and they still put this much effort into making it like really cool.
Yeah, and on top of that, like he not only gets his base form, I would say that this is his final form.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, until today, I wouldn't even have considered it like a form necessarily. But
yeah, same.
But I guess it is. So
wait, actually, let me see, because like this does come with a base sticker. Oh, it doesn't say anything different. It's just Barlux in white and black instead of black. Right. Like it's not night mode.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So day, Corey.
Day. I don't know. I don't know what you call it, because like I never use it. I just know. Oh, if I see white, that's incorrect. You should be on dark mode.
No, I mean that is accurate, but you just said not night mode, so that would be day mode.
I guess. I didn't know if day mode was the correct use of that. I didn't know if the opposite. That's not what this podcast is about.
It's called light mode usually.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, so then you're the asshole.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean...
You corrected me using the wrong information.
Whatever.
This is what happens when we record the podcast in light mode.
That's right, yeah. It's morning. Oh, actually, no, it's not anymore. It's 1 p.m. over here.
It's 4 p.m.,
But hey, check this out. If you were disappointed with the look of the fully black longsword, there's a completely clear blue one.
Yeah, that was a cool way to get the like lightsaber effect out of it.
Yeah, because it looks like an actual lightsaber toy.
It does, yeah,
like from Hasbro.
And there was a really good idea to throw it into the clear one, since you're already having all the clear blue plastic anyway.
Clear one.
Yeah, that works out really well.
Take that, Shodo.
Oh man.
But yeah,
I mean, honestly, I would have liked it if they met somewhere in the middle. Like, with action figure lightsabers, they usually I don't think they do this anymore, but they used to have the hilt separate from the blade, and then you plug in the blade with this tiny little peg. If they did something like that, but they bore out a larger hole in the hilt, and then you just sort of plug it in, I think that would have been nice. But this makes sense in terms of hey, thing molded in one color, just do it. You know what I mean?
And the part at the bottom that wouldn't have been lit up in the actual sword mode, because that doesn't make any sense, is the part that he's holding, so you're not really gonna see that, and then the rest of it's covered by that little sticker detail.
That's the thing, though. This is one of those rare weapon items where any normal one, you either would be missing the back part of the hilt, or they put in a two-part, front, top, and bottom mold. But this one goes all the way through the hand, and you see it toward the end. So, Malunis, it justifies the sword that I made with the hilt that I made it with for your custom figure. So it just goes all the way through. So it is still what I made. This is just for me. What I made is still within Soto parameters.
Yeah,
it's still Sotoable.
Sotoable. I like that term.
Yeah, but I feel it's been done before, right? We've seen excess.
I feel like it's had to have been done before.
Yeah. I don't remember specifically, but I feel like
was Kuuga's dragon pole, not the actual one, but the one that's a steel rod, was that like that?
That's true. Yeah. The full steel rod. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It is.
Yeah, I think any sort of pole arm that doesn't use the sort of double Deno open hand.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think Kashi, that's it.
That's true. Yeah. No, I get you.
But yeah, just looking at these three, and also now having Zonji's in hand. Yeah, I can understand why it took them a while to figure these guys out.
Oh yeah,
sure. Definitely. And they told us about the complications in the blog. First off, by saying, "Hey, we hear you saying if Tsukiyomi's in this wave, this is Georide 13."
I'm so happy that they acknowledged
that. Basically,
the fact that...
acknowledging that Thouser's wave is Ride 12.
I'm so happy that they acknowledged that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love that. But they said, "Don't worry, we've got at least 101 character in here." Which
so do we think that the clear blue Barlux was always the plan, or do you think they kind of thought about adding that because of how long it was taking to get the figures out to be something worth the wait?
Because I assume that
I could see that going either way, to be honest.
I assume that if this was made regular production schedule, and how they don't typically get enough information before they start making these things.
Point.
That's true. They wouldn't have known about that, probably.
They might not have known about it. So, and since it would have to fit in a regular wave, that would have just been axed. And,
sure.
Yeah, and they might not have known about the Heisei board and that being a whole thing that people liked. So I don't think that this would have existed unless it was now.
Wouldn't it be funny if the conversation was, "Hey, I really want to work in this Heisei thing, but we don't really have a slot to put it in. Can we just make a whole other figure?"
Yeah, just suddenly, in the world where we got everything we needed to begin with, just suddenly, out of the blue, in 01's show, or in 01's wave, it's just, "Hey, blue Barlux."
Oh, right.
And then,
okay, I'll take it.
He's "Can we just make a whole separate figure just to justify the sign?" And they say, "Well, why be careless with our budget now?"
Sure.
We've never done anything like that before, so let's go.
Yeah.
Because what I was saying before is that having Zonjis in hand, I can see why it took them so long. And it's not just because of the design. It's also, based on the information we've been given from the blog, PVC is more expensive, and Zonjis comes with an entire box that's practically 2 armor sets in one, and most of it is PVC. So it's like, maybe they couldn't do it in time because they just had to like save up some money.
Or perhaps they had to find a scapegoat, which I assume is just
I wonder if
easy to mass produce what's
Trilobite?
Trilobite, yeah.
They just got really lucky with how, I mean, compared to the other shows, compared to that, 01 hasn't had as many things that they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just got really lucky they were able to slot these in. I mean, I know like they planned the waves out with the intention of putting these figures in there because of, and like ever since the beginning. So it wasn't like they had to try to make it work, but they just got really lucky that they were able to make it, flow very easily.
And I feel like this is important to the discussion. But they noted that they're sorry that Barlux and the Mode Eggplant, they aren't full figures in one box. That was the intent for these figures. That's why they don't do their chests don't swap out. The intent was to have them all in one box, but when they were looking at the budget, they needed more paint on these guys. So this is just how it had to end up. And then the material cost for the completely clear blue version of Barlux, like, because of that, they had to, like, I don't know, overwhelming material costs. They had to divide these into 2 boxes.
I found it interesting how the sign comes with the clear Barlux, and then the sticker for it comes with the armor set for the regular one.
Or it's the other way around.
So they were they don't come in the same box for the sign.
Yeah.
But they noted something about that as well, saying that like it was part of the cost reduction. And then they said as a result there's no seal on the armor, but like why would you
need that?
Yeah.
This almost got to be the one Soto figure with no stickers.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, it's very close.
I mean, it is the Soto figure without stickers.
That's true.
The Revolcane is not a figure, it's just an accessory. Same with so and I feel like we can never ever get away from stickers. There's no possible way, because how else are you gonna tell what stand is it, who goes to what stand?
You're right.
There's always gonna be a sticker.
It's also funny mentioning that they intended these to all be in one box, because that was the thing that I kind of forgot and was surprised by when I opened Zonji's, where it's like I opened up the body and it was just like, oh, this is just a full figure.
Oh, I'm done.
The cloak and all the other stuff is just like in a separate box.
Yeah. Dang. So yeah, that's some interesting stuff. And they said for the clear blue molding thing, dividing it up into 2, it was a difficult situation, so it was divided into 2 boxes. And they said it was something that happened sort of last minute, but last minute to them is not last week, last month, but last year's sort of last minute in manufacturing, long development and production period. So these take a long time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Especially this one, because they were having complications with these. So I don't think a year really is the true story for all of them, but that just sort of gives you a window into
I'm curious about how since they would have known about these, at least the idea of these riders before Geo ended. I'm wondering how far along they were in the development with them when Geo was over.
Like, that's why, like, seeing something like this, like it taking this long, and I know like it's not typically this long, but it reminds me of like, you know how Sonic, that movie, it changed the design of Sonic, then the toys didn't really catch up.
Oh right, yeah, because it was too late.
Did they not?
Yeah.
I was interested.
Yeah, the development cycles are very different.
I was because the only thing I was aware of is that there was a Halloween mask. I'm very glad that exists, but
it's terrifying.
But I was saying a while ago, it'd be interesting to see what the merchandise is going to look like for this movie, because will there actually be that much merchandise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there just going to be a warehouse full of prototype Sonic merchandise?
I'm sure that movie really screwed them up. But like
I'm sure
the toys that did come out, they kind of looked like the original version that I saw. Definitely... Like I didn't see too many. I just got morbidly curious about what happened.
Oh right,
to them.
right.
I gotta look into that.
I think it was just too late for them to change that.
So like this, overall, my whole thing is like, appreciate the process. It takes a long time for these to get into development, and when something as quick as, say, the Lightning figures come out, like the turnaround time for that was incredible. When that happens, that is kind of a miracle.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I was just looking at the Lightning stuff again today, of course. But
every day.
Oh well, of course. But yeah, like when they announced that first one at Morphicon 2 years ago, that was only 4 months after they had purchased the brand.
Yeah.
So and they had only got the toy license 2 months before that. So at the very most, they had about a half a year process to have, been able to have the license to even be able to make that anyway, and then make a prototype and have a prototype ready for Morphicon.
Yeah, and it's not just a prototype. It's like going back and forth with the factory.
Right.
I assume.
Yeah, exactly. And also, since it was the first figure, making that just making the mold for how the rest of the figures would be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hasbro is...
I'm sure they probably went through a bunch of different developments on how they wanted it to be for reusing it all the time.
Yeah.
Hasbro is kind of known, I think, these days for having an incredibly good turnaround for that stuff, like with Transformers. I think the thing I heard was that their 3D printing got to the point where they could actually print out some actually assembled parts.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
for prototyping.
So I actually when I went to school, I went to a manufacturing fair because it was required or something, and I went to I forgot what the 3D printing company's name was.
Printco.
It was the biggest, one of the largest SLA companies. Let me look it up. SLA 3D printing. But I went there and I was talking to the guy about the resin printing, and I was just saying, I think it was Formlabs. Yeah, and I think I was saying, I'm working on a project at school, my senior project, and I'm simulating the manufacture of an action figure toy line. And he's like, oh, really? Because I used to work for Hasbro. This is some of the stuff that I worked on. And he was showing me a bunch of concept stuff for for I think The Last Jedi, just a bunch of Star Wars stuff. The wings.
Oh, Black Series stuff, or
either the Black Series stuff or the 3 3/4 inch that they were doing at the time. Because he was he had showed me a fin in this desert gear.
That's awesome.
But then he told me, he showed me, he was the one for Spider-Man Homecoming, the Vulture's wings. He made that.
Oh wow.
He made that whole thing, and the printers they used were all SLA, that type of printer, the Formlabs printer, and those print very high quality. And he was showing me the samples he had for, because resin obviously doesn't make it as they aren't as tough as plastic, but he was showing me these samples and saying, this is probably the him selling it to us portion, But yeah, these samples are just as durable as plastic. So
that's awesome.
SLA printing gets you really close.
Yeah.
Nice.
So all that to say just that, but
no, that was cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's a really cool experience. So
that stuff's all really interesting.
Yeah. I was worried that since we didn't have a topic, nothing interesting would be said toward the end, but I'm glad we're throwing this in here.
Yeah, it's cool that there's kind of a history with 3D printing, a chronicle, you might say.
Yes.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
While I'm thinking of it here, to kind of just tie it back to everything, so they joked about the whole if they had thrown in Tsukiyomi, this would be ride 13. Is this the first time that they've mentioned her since they confirmed that they were doing her?
I think
so.
So I mean, it's not like I didn't think that they had forgotten or anything like that, but maybe they're getting ready to reveal that relatively soon.
Maybe. I mean, I'd assume in 09.
Probably. I mean,
is that it?
Yeah, that's it. We're almost there.
Well,
that's it.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You mean is she the last one from Geo? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, unless what are you thinking of?
I thought you were saying, is that the last wave? And I was about to say,
well, oh God, no.
I
got pre-orders for AI 10.
Yeah. So if they just do her quickly, here's the thing, Soto has always been surprising us. Mm-hmm. Last week, it wasn't Dai Soto, it was just some random premium Bandai limited color version set with bikes. This week, it's hey, clear blue version of this thing that you were expecting.
Yeah, when the thumbnail picture, showed Barlux and Pegasus Kuuga, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, we're gonna get Barlux finally. I'm scrolling through it, and then they did the whole blue clear one, and I'm like, okay, well, definitely was not expecting that. I thought it'd just be Barlux and get that out of the way.
Every year, there's always something that's just I didn't expect you to go there.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like it's not just every year; it's at least once a month that this happens.
Honestly, pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
I know we joke about it, but it's honestly kind of hilarious how little 01 news we've had on this blog in the last couple of months.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
In comparison to everything else that they're doing, it feels like kind of not an afterthought, but it definitely doesn't seem like the top of the priorities with it. They're just kind of oh yeah, we have to do this too. Here's that. Not that they're doing a bad job or anything like that, but
just
Malunis.
I was saying, anytime soon, just Ikazuchi. Come on.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's happening.
He's got to be the last figure in AI8. I can't think of.
Well,
I mean, unless they do Arc 0 already, which I feel like that would be better saved for the next wave anyway. I don't know.
Yeah,
man, what are they even going to do for the next two waves? We're winding down. What do we have left? So we're assuming Ikazuchi in this next one, right?
So what I wonder is that so we got Ikazuchi and Arc 0.
Hold on. Another wrench to throw into this. AI 07, we never got the wave layout.
Yeah, we still. I mean,
there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was going to say first off is I wonder if, because you were saying how much did they got left, I wonder if AI 07 is technically the full lineup because they need to.
I don't know because they never said for sure. I don't think if it was.
Yeah, and they even. The wave breakdown like this, they didn't give us a typical looking one.
Yeah,
are they
just
hiding
had that...
certain accessories? Because they could have done that by just blanking those out.
Yeah, because they just had the collage photo of the three figures so far. So
yeah,
it's interesting because we have pre-orders up on sites confirming that we're at least getting 10 sets, right?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So what?
10. I mean, they didn't put up a pre-order for 11, so.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because, there are still a handful of things to do, but I can't think I can't think of 2 whole sets worth of things. Like, because we're almost done with the Geo stuff, so that's only going to take up one more slot. Right. And so, because we have that, we have Arc Zero, Ikazuchi. We know 01's final form is going to be one of those, because of course it will be. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know how much else they're planning, if they are going to be doing, like, because we don't know anything about 01's movie yet, so I'm assuming there's probably some kind of form and some kind of rider from that they're going to have to do. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know what's that.
So I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but
oh no, you're good.
07 is it regularly retails for 2640 yen, mm-hmm. and is up on Ami for 2110.
Okay.
So we have that price, and then divide that by.
Does it say how many boxes are in it?
Like, let's assume 6. Like, the 6 that we've seen is it.
Right.
Then that's 2640 divided by 6.
Well, I mean, you could just compare the price to a previous wave.
Yeah, no, but I don't want to search that up. 440 yen per box, but let me divide it by 7, perhaps. 377. So that's too low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's take a look at AI.
So yeah, that might be it then.
Hold on. It might, if the price is so low. AI 06 with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 06 had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Mm-hmm. And that's 42.20. Oh no, that's the 12 pack. My bad.
No, I was gonna say that's way too much for that.
Whoa. Oh, okay, yeah, it showed a different price. 3,000. So that's 7. That's 7 figures, or 7 boxes, not figures, but 7 boxes. And if we assume, and let me do the math on that one, 3080 divided by 7. That gets us to 440. That's it for 07.
Fair
it's
enough.
Just those 3.
So my prediction from this then is that I feel like it's pretty safe to say that Ikazuchi will be that final figure from 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
Since we've already seen them that they're working on it and everything like that. And then I think 9 will be his final form, Arc 0, Tsukiyomi, and something else. And then set 10 will cover last minute show stuff and movie stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then just no 11? Are we assuming no 11 at all?
I guess, yeah.
Wow.
I think we could assume that just based on the fact that it's been a little bit crazy for scheduling right now.
That's true.
No, yeah, absolutely. But like on top of that, it's like the intent. Like there were no other suits coming out. Like
set 10 would come out in. Huh? Set 10 would come out in August, and that's the month the show would be. Well, I mean, there is that 3-week delay now, so we don't know for sure. Yeah. But that would be the month that the show would have been wrapping up anyway. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. Also, I just remembered we still have to get Hopping Kangaroo from the Hyper Battle DVD.
Oh, right.
Well, AI 10, that's 440 or 4,400 yen. Is that right? Yeah, complete set, 4,400.
You know, if they want to
buy what?
12?
I'll just divide it by 4. That's 10. That's 10 pieces.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I had to do the math on that. That's just removing one of the zeros for $4,400 or yen. So that's 10 pieces. So we're working with 5 figures potentially. And you said what? Arc 0, Final Form, and then whatever movie stuff.
Ikazuchi.
Yeah.
No, that I'm talking about 10 because 10's box is 10's box is 4,400, and we're saying Ikazuchi would happen in 8.
Okay, so hear me out.
Yeah.
things have been a little bit crazy, so it would be understandable if they can't do anything like a Magyar set. So
yeah. I'm not expecting that anymore.
Well, what I was gonna say is, so why not do the first one, just like the Barotha,
the what?
The comedian guy, the
one from the first
guy.
episode. Yeah.
Oh, I'd like it. I mean, what if? Okay, so how many slots are left? We can figure out how many slots are left.
Okay.
Right?
So I think so.
For AI08, there's probably one more slot left. We could just...
more than likely,
wait, we don't have to assume. We could look it up. AI08.
I figure there's gotta be, because with everything that they're pointing to that wave.
Right.
And we only know that there's at least one slot left because they said there's going to be a 01 character in it, so we just assume that's just going to be one slot.
I'm also... I don't know how much of a factor this would be, but I'm also thinking about
boxes.
Like what
there are 9 boxes in 08. For the complete
9
set.
in 8?
Yeah, 9. Because
and I wonder if
I took the price and divided by 440.
Well, that's interesting. How many do we have so far? We have 8 boxes? Or no, I'm sorry, 6 boxes.
We have 6.
So Ikazuchi could be 2 boxes, and then what would be the 9th box?
It could be another accessory set.
It could, but what would be in that?
Humor gear.
For
what it?
Burning Falcon, or not Burning Falcon? Jin. I don't know. Or maybe something just takes up so much room that it's 3 of them.
What if they? I don't know. I feel like it'd be a good idea, but I don't think they would actually do that because they've been releasing bodies this year. But what if they just made the hopping kangaroo armor? Just to get that done.
I could kind of see that at this point.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I know that they're committed to like giving you enough bodies this year, so you don't have to keep tracking them down. But like,
wait, hold on.
What?
You know how Barlux came with a Magyar, right? And I'm just assuming that was for budgetary constraints, so they had to fit in a bunch of lower grade sort of items, and the Magyar was just that. What if to offset a bunch of this, it's just 2 Magyars and a Magyar accessory set?
That's what I was saying was, you said maybe the last box is an accessory set, and I just said, or a humor gear.
Yeah,
that could work.
No accessories needed for that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That'd
be cool. I like that.
Yeah. So 08 has 3 boxes left. Let's find out. Do you remember what I said about what 9 has? Yeah, 09.
I do not recall.
Nope.
Okay. Here, I'm just gonna write this down just so we have it. AI 08. That one has. What did I say?
We could probably do this math and drop it into the Discord chat at some point.
Yeah.
Just like this is our.
I just want to lay all these out.
Okay, I was gonna say this is our on the air, kind of on the spot sort of research.
Yeah. My bad. Like, I know this is probably not the most exciting thing while I'm figuring out all this math and stuff.
Consider this a teaser for a possible discussion in our public Discord.
Yeah, for next week. This is probably like next week. I'm thinking, hey, figure out what the heck else is gonna be
right
in the rest of it.
Besides, they might even finish off AI08 next week anyway.
And I think I was gonna make this point before, but one thing that I'm also factoring in, even though I don't know if it's necessarily a factor, is who's going to be like the main star of the wave, like the one that's going to be up close on the packaging. And in that case, it's a bit of a shame that AI07 has 2 characters that could probably take the main spot.
That's true. I figure the star of the wave will be whatever 01 figure it is, because, I mean, remember, this is supposed to be a 01 set.
Yeah. Okay,
Hopping kangaroo.
So,
exactly.
AI-08 has 9 boxes. AI-09 has 10 boxes. AI-10 or AI-10 has 10 boxes.
Okay, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. So we've got potentially 1 or 2 more figures left in AI-08, right? 2 more of those slots, and then like 5 more in each of the other ones. So that's like 11 or 12 figures left
total. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I'm just interested in the fact that we don't have. I'm just interested in the fact that we don't have currently 12 characters to fill those slots.
I wonder.
We have Tsukiyomi.
Right.
We have Arc Zero, 01's final form.
Ikazuchi. Hopping Kangaroo. So that's 5. That doesn't even fill up half. Nope. And that's all we know about right now.
Yeah, I mean, throwing some Magir, throwing some like...
Maybe a Humagir, like Malunis said.
Humagir, yeah.
I wonder because, most of the parts are there for it. I wonder if they might just say, hey, we decided to take up a slot by just making Gio's Woe's armor form from the stage show.
I would love that. I would love that so much.
Wait, hold on. What, how many of the, what if forms are there?
A lot. Way too
almost,
many.
I think I actually just looked this last night. It was like 18.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's far outside the scope.
Unfortunately, it's not happening at this point.
Yeah.
If they decided to open that can of worms, they might just make like Shooting Wolf for 01.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
True, yeah. I mean, as much as I would love to see that, because I love the concept forms, and I like they keep doing that every week. It's too late for them to do it, and there's not enough slots.
Yeah. What about Horseshoe Crab? No one talks about Horseshoe Crab enough. I want Horseshoe Crab.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would go good with the Trilobite Magia.
Exactly.
To have like the two.
Do you
like,
think we're getting more releases of those? Because it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility for them to like re-release it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got it, but I think it honestly depends on, because for the most part, because the show for all intents and purposes is winding down on what we're going to be seeing with new suits and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryder loves doing last minute forms, so I'm sure we're going to get someone getting some last minute form, maybe Valkyrie or something like that.
God, I hope so. Just take the Jackal one and paint it different.
Yeah, seriously, it's not that hard for them to do that. But so I'm sure there'll be some kind of like form that debuts in the last like 2 or 3 episodes, because they do that like every year. But but like counting that, we don't know what they're gonna do for the movie. Like there could just be one movie rider this year. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be like a trio like last year, but
5 riders.
Yeah, there you go, 5 riders. I feel like a re-release of the Trilobite Magia and stuff like that really depends on how crazy the movie would need for slots.
Right.
I could see that being a 2 birds with 1 stone situation where they're like, we need to take up a slot because we don't have enough here. Hey, last year we had this thing with Kashin where people couldn't find them, so hey, why don't we just re-release this?
Yeah. And like,
here's Kashin a 3rd time.
or even because that we're gonna
go ahead.
Or even honestly, we know that they're gonna have to do 01 figures in whatever the next Rider series is, because I'm sure 01's gonna get V Cinemas after this. So, and since they re-released Kashin this year, maybe they could just re-release the Trilobite next year.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, I mean, what if there's a whole like grunt faction that we don't know about yet from that movie? Like, how possible. In X-Aid's final set it came with the other ninja guys,
right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So
yeah, I actually I was just making this joke recently about the Humagear suit. I was saying I look forward to when these get repainted for the summer movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, So we've got about 11 to 12 figures left. And the likelihood of me posting this episode before we record the next one is very slim. But I'm announcing it now. Fill up the last few figures. We have 9 boxes to... Oh, by next week, we should have maybe the end of 08. Or,
probably.
You know... Like, we have one little thing left from 08 to talk about.
Yeah. I feel like it's too soon for them to already start with 9. So
yeah. So, tell us about AI09 and AI10 if, by any miracle, I post this before we record next week. Tell us about...
we're not considering it yet, but we could get a final set this year.
Oh, like a premium Bandai.
We could.
Yeah.
Wait, no, didn't, I think I got a comment from, let me see, I got a comment from either, Peacemaker or Blade Raider, because those two are, like, the most active.
Yeah.
Correcting you on something?
Probably. Most of the time, yeah. But, let me bring this up. So now we can have a little bit of podcast topic, them chiming in.
Yeah.
I think he said, Peacemaker 2448 just double checked a video. The girls, no, that's not the right one. Where is it?
What about the girls?
Checked the blog post and that said they're not going to do a Final 01 set. And that was the Blue Boys week.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't checked back to that. I haven't verified that, but he's usually correcting me on shit, so I'm
okay.
Sure he's not
That's
wrong.
Fair. Right. Well, I mean, they didn't do one for Geo, so I'm not surprised that they're not going to do it, but...
And here's the great thing. Even though we, like, talk about the news and stuff, I wouldn't say we report on it. We're not a vetted news source, so we don't actually have to go back and do our due diligence.
we can be all wrong as long as we want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can talk out of our ass. Hey, did you know that we're getting a Flying Falcon ride-on?
Oh no! Okay, and the episode's done. We're done.
Yeah, no, we didn't even begin talking about Pegasus.
Oh yeah.
So much for my transition.
Have all of that. Yeah. So let's. I hate to cut the discussion, but I feel like we're winding down on it. Let's just quickly talk about.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the photos here, just thinking to myself. So, was there any sort of a new information about Pegasus form?
Sorta, yeah. So
all I want to say about it is that Corey, when you're making the thumbnail for this episode, please include the delete this photo of dragon form last night. That was hilarious.
Oh man, that made me so happy. Like, I saw it and I was like, ooh, this has to happen.
I know, that was hilarious. I was sitting in the break room before my shift started last night when I saw that, and I was like, and we're saving that for future use.
Man, I love Soto so much.
Oh, I know, it's fantastic. I can think of so many good situations where that would be useful.
Yeah, definitely. So, for this figure, most of the same stuff applies, but it seems like we are continuing the two-tone paint app on the chest, because Kuuga, the original Kuuga Mighty form, is that the first one's name, Mighty?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. That had a sticker to replicate the different color of red. But then when Dragon came around, it was painted in 2 tones of blue, and now here we're once again painted in 2 tones of green, with that sort of like bottom section picked out in paint as well. And I was wondering if that brim at the bottom of the blue one was painted, and since this one is, was painted a different color, and since this one is, it's making me think the other one probably was as well. It's just a little harder to see. Mm-hmm. So that's good. The shoulder pad is fully painted, and the cuff on the bicep, that's fully painted as well. And they said that was, I mean, all this paint stuff was deliberate, but this one was deliberately done because if they put a sticker on there and you'd have to, like, the cuff itself can slip on and off. That's just so, you know, if you are slipping it on and off, that's not going to rub off a sticker or anything.
So how's that bicep cuff actually work? Like, how do you put it on?
Please attach the special upper arm part like this, and then they don't show us how. They just show that it's put on. I assume you like have to take out the forearm and then sleeve it in. But
what I was saying is, I wonder if this is one of those, maybe the first time where you actually have to pull it off at the bicep, because it's not
potentially, but they don't show you removing it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that's what makes it a little bit confusing. But it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, because those pegs aren't. They don't feel like they're intended to be removed, but they don't give you that much trouble. They're not that.
No, and I'm pretty sure in like the instructions before we got the revamped 01 instructions, that showed they showed that as a component.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the bicep itself before you stick it on, it'd be really hard to sleeve it over the top side, and it would make more sense to sleeve it over the bottom. Because, like, why else would they show him without his forearm?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to take the forearm off to make that possible, is what I think is what they're saying.
Yeah. It's, I guess that'll be a thing to figure out when we get these in hand.
Yeah, and it should be soon. I think in like 8 days in Japan, it's going to be happening.
Yeah, it's like near the end of May.
Yeah. And oh man, I'm waiting for my what's their names? Tier Major set. And I'm waiting. This guy has to be ready to ship before I ship those. Also, the gems, once again, the kneecap and the ankle gems, 2 different sheens. Love that. The handgun. Oh my god. This is pretty. I can't believe this.
PVC part on the back end.
What's that?
The extended part apparently is PVC.
Oh, I was talking about the handgun.
Oh, the real ass gun. Okay.
Yeah, the real gun. The really for real gun that will shoot you for real.
I love it for the absurdity that they actually included this with the rider.
Yeah, now you can put this on any of your Soto figures, and
give it to Jen.
Yeah, absolutely. If the weapons didn't already make them menacing, like a real weapon makes them way more menacing.
Yeah,
and you know what? I feel like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, when it comes to riders using real weapons, I think of like Bloodstock in that one episode where you see him actually killing Sato Taro or whatever his name was. It's just like the way he kills him, he's like in the full costume with all the venom and stuff, but what he just does is pick up a pocket knife and just fling it.
Oh man,
right. You're right.
Oh,
I forgot about
that. Remember how in Geo Decay just sort of had a gun?
Yeah,
that was
he
amazing.
wasn't transformed.
But
I do want to replicate that here.
Oh man, now I kind of want to buy a Pegasus form for this.
You have to. You have to. You're required. Any Soto owner is required to now purchase this weapon.
I have an extra Decade I want to make just to have for this. That was
that's his final form actually.
Oh right. Oh, of course, right.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that Pink Belt Decade is his final form.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yes. But yeah, like Malunis was saying, the actual Pegasus bow gun, the back of it, and I think in both iterations, the slung back and the regular one, the back grip is made out of PVC, so you don't screw it up. you Neanderthals.
Actually,
so that's
can
good.
you just go to the image where he's like pulling back that part?
Yeah.
That's how I know it's PVC. You can see it bent.
Yeah. I mean, I could probably tell from just the way that plastic looked.
Yeah.
Cuz like it looks like PVC gold looks different than, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Gonna have to give that one. Gonna have to give that one the old hot water, cold water treatment.
I typically don't mind, because if I throw it in a box, it's gonna get warped again anyway. So, yeah. Oh, also, hey, display stands, acrylic logo displays, this premium Bandai ones. They work with all your Kuuga products.
Yay!
Thank goodness.
I was so worried it wasn't gonna work with my Soto pictures.
I thought it was just premium Bandai compatible.
Oh my god!
But if you put Gates next to it, that's also compatible. You know, as Gates' Majesty taught us, Gates is the secondary writer of Kuuga.
Oh, absolutely, you are correct. Yes. I mean, Gates does kind of look like Kuuga. Yeah, simpler times. That's weird. Hey, also, some smaller things to note about the limited color version stuff and the hard boulder set. They're receiving a lot more orders than they expected, so good job, guys.
Nice. I think that's actually actual news, because what I think I said before that it seems like every time they do a Soto Chronicle Premium Bandai set, they usually follow up the next week saying, hey, this got a lot of pre-orders. But it sounds like this time it was more so than usual.
Yeah. Because usually the writing is pretty vague, but here it was like definitively, whoa, okay, you know.
So good news for
also,
people who wanted
the back of the neck of the limited color version does not have the holes that the original one did. They just wanted to put that in here as well.
That explains this picture then. Okay.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is, I guess that's good news for people who were really wanting more Chronicle bikes.
Oh yeah, because now they know that there's demand.
Right.
An exceptional amount of demand.
So that's good. I wonder if going forward, because it's probably too late to release them at retail for the regular guys, but going forward, I wonder if, you know, if they do a more simple rider, right? Then in their first set they could include a bike, perhaps.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
I don't know. Like they're saying, we received more orders than expected. Hopefully, it was enough of a response for them to realize, oh, people want bikes. Because but we've seen that they haven't done too well in the bike space recently, or at least as it relates to the huge mecha of the year. So I don't know if they're able to distinguish how well the bike is doing versus the mecha. And maybe the bike is supposed to be the selling point, and then you also just sort of get them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
the bike takes center stage in the box, and then
Yeah, it could be that people were really wanted the motorcycle, but they had to get this big dumb robot.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of I think what stopped me from getting the Geo set originally was just like, well, that's a lot of money to drop for that, just for like a motorcycle. But then it also turned out to be dropping gradually in price.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you truly need the bike, I don't know if you happen to get it yet, but like the actual set itself, I don't know if it was a complete set, because it came with, well, it's more than complete. Like, it came with 3 parts for the mecha and then 2 bikes. Yeah, so if you need one and you don't want the mammoth neck, I could sell you the other one.
Vroom.
I would probably want to put money towards other things at the moment. Speaking of, I was saying I might want to put money towards other things at the moment. Speaking of, I might have to talk to you about.
Oh no, that's fair. If you want me to just hold it aside for you, I will. Like, I don't need it.
Well, I was adding on to that. Speaking of, I might want to talk to you about the Kira Major stuff.
I mean, I only have not great things to say about the Kira Major set, just because you're gonna be missing out on one of the figures. Sad to say.
Okay.
Yeah. But we could talk about that later. Yeah, and then they said, hey, pre-order all this premium Bandai stuff, the Kishi art stuff, blah, 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 blah. And next week is Pegasus plus AI-08 stuff.
Well, Titan.
Yep.
Also, just to note, they said in the initial Kuuga blog that there was a reason that they made a change to the neck, a ball joint in the base of the neck and the top of the neck, and they said that they will reveal why later with a different figure. And Titan's the only, like, none of the other ones, Pegasus and Dragon didn't talk about it at all, so it must be coming in Titan, unless they reveal a bike.
I was about to say, we will show it off in another figure, and then I'm looking over at the Trilobite Magia.
No. I just meant, you know what I mean. Like, they were saying they made the innovation, and they're going to show off why later.
Okay. So
I'm wondering, and they said it was going to be in a different, I forget if it was for a different figure or for a different post. And that, there's a distinction, because if it's a figure in that set, then it has to be Titan. But if it's for a different post, right, then they could say, hey, we're getting a bike, and now he can look up.
They're looking at the pre-orders for the double bike going, oh, thank God this is doing well. Okay, keep moving forward.
I hope it's a bike, because I know that there have been a lot of people asking for it.
Yeah.
So
a lot of you asking for it.
Yeah, a lot of I think it's Austin Teal asking for it.
Oh no, I was just saying you specifically.
Oh, me? Yeah, that's true. I haven't, like, bikes have become such a nothing part of Rider, but I can't imagine them without them. So I need them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're 5 minutes. Wow. 1 hour and minutes? 7 minutes in. 1 hour, 8 minutes.
Did you just hit the record button?
We discussed all this in 5 minutes? How did we do that?
Yeah, this has only been 5 minutes. And it didn't even make it to a Brian 36 minutes.
You're right. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Maybe the title of this episode is 5 minutes long. But no, I think there was something funny during this blog that I wanted to use.
If the title was 5 minutes long, you would just have to copy and paste the entire rant thing that you put in the text-to-speech generator the other week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think that's it, and I think we're good about. I was worried that we didn't have enough air to fill without a topic, but we did it, boys. We did it.
I think we had a good conversation.
Yeah, no, that was wonderful. Good job, guys. So yeah, hey, if you like this episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. We're at 80 subs now, and I maybe past that. I'm not sure. Haven't checked in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me see. No, 82. Oh my god. So thank you for that. That's 82 people who like Soto enough to hear about it every week, and that makes me very happy, because this is not here. This podcast is not here for us. It's here for Soto, if that makes sense. We're trying to bolster up Soto. So if there's excitement by at least 82 people for Soto, that's good. We gotta get more people into Soto. So throw them in. There's nothing definitive that I can say about this just yet. And considering this episode won't be out for a while, Josh and I have been working on some things in the background that we're very happy about and very excited to share with you guys. So please stay tuned for a lot of our efforts. And don't forget, we've got new stuff on this channel, but we've got new stuff coming out on other avenues as well. Josh has his Soto Sundays over at the Tokyo Toy Store Facebook page, and Malunis has his articles that come out monthly on Tokusatsu Network. So please go check those out. And Malunis, I think we talked about it in the last episode, but you were recently on another podcast where you talked about Soto. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that was the episode of the Tokusatsu Network podcast where we talked about Tokusatsu toys, which was largely just answering questions like, what was your first figure? Like, just answering a few submitted questions. But I did make a point of talking a lot about why I love Soto, the Candy Toy blog, and at the end I plugged our podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because like I said, we're keeping it too juicy. We needed a plug. We're leaking. Guys, that's it, though. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And, yeah, keep it juicy.
See ya.
Hara ni kita! Someone will get that.
Rider time! Shodo-x!